Part 17. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Chingjomi Se. Chapter 162. The scene changed and immediately cut to the studio. What? Wait. Can this be broadcast? Is it only us who can see it, or can the audience also see this part? Yu Zhongqian, a famous original singer in the Chinese music scene, has been writing and releasing songs in recent years. He is considered to be the top of the pyramid in the field of original singers. He sat on the right side of the host and stood up at this moment. No, is this a love variety show? Ha ha ha. Teacher Lin, you guys are playing too big. I wonder why there are so many actors in the observation room of this love variety show. Oh. It's true when you look at it this way. I didn't realize that except for our love expert and teacher Yu Zhongqian, they are all from the entertainment industry. The observation room was in chaos, but the atmosphere immediately rose. Including the host, there are a total of 7 observation room guests. Except for the emotional writer who specializes in love and Yu Zhongqian, all are actors. And each of them is quite important. For example, the first person sitting on the left of the host, Ling Yanhui, started out shooting sitcoms. His uncle is a famous director in the film industry. It seems that Ling Yanhui can be found in every field, including sitcoms, TV series, movies, and variety shows. He has done well in every field. Almost all the variety shows he has participated in are popular variety shows. In the past few years, he also started a cross-border business. For example, the currently popular Lupopo Hotpot was jointly started by him and several friends in the catering industry. Yu Zhongqian was on the right of the host, and Ling Yanhui was on the left of the host. Both of them are well-known people in the circle. They stood up together. It seemed that they wanted to compare whose program was better. Yu Zhongqian yelled directly, and Ling Yanhui ran to the program team and shouted, "Don't make trouble. My agent said that this kind of program is most suitable for slacking off. Just sit there and watch TV. It doesn't require brain power. I came here with the mood of taking a vacation. I came here to do this kind of thing, right? Not to mention the guests on the scene, the barrage was full of ha ha ha. It's over, my scalp is numb. How did these two people meet? They are all crazy. Ha ha ha, Yu Zhongqian has met his match. Ling Yanhui is an old variety show host. Ling Yanhui, no, I'm not an actor. Are you polite? Look at the expression of teacher Lin Tong, she can't control the situation. Sister Rooking is still the best, sitting there quietly, covering her mouth when she laughs. The host took a lot of effort to push Ling Yanhui and Yu Zhongqian to their seats. These two people are really hard for ordinary hosts to handle. One is an actor and variety show star, and the other is a top original singer who loves to make jokes. Only an experienced host like Lin Tong dares to pretend to be angry to control the situation. Lin Tong came from CCTV's talk show. He has a good variety show effect. Many people tried to recruit him. Penguin Video just happened to lack a host of its own, so they recruited him and he is getting better and better. Lin Tong put her hands on her hips, I knew this job was not easy. Let's make 3 rules. During the recording, no one can leave their seats. I will decide who loses and deduct their wages. The scene was full of laughter, and then Lin Tong got back to the point and began to read the advertising slogan. After reading the advertising slogan, she introduced the guests on the scene. There is no low profile in this batch. The audience watched the excitement, and Yang Qingqing could see something else. Why are Ling Yanhui and Yu Zhongqian so active? Because the people on the scene are not low profile, and their reputations are good, the atmosphere is easy to get up. The conspicuous bag also depends on the occasion and has the motivation to show it. Only then can the conspicuous bag show this side. Why do we play this segment before the start? Of course, the audience will definitely see the segment. What we can see, the audience can see, because we are a social experiment program. The love class itself is not just about the beautiful side. In reality, love will also encounter true and false. After the introduction, Lin Tong began to set the tone for the program. Ling Yanhui on the left began to sigh. Lin Tong looked over and Ling Yanhui quickly apologized. "I'm sorry, Mr. Lin, please continue." "Lin Tong, I've delayed your slacking off, haven't I?" There was another round of laughter. Yu Zhongqian replied, "I'm not slacking off. Really, I can't wait. I really want to watch the show now. It's very interesting. Mr. Lin, can you ask the director if they will shoot the next season? I'll come too. I don't want money. I'm just saying, why is Xiaoqing Ai willing to come? If so, I'm willing to come too." The whole audience laughed. Lin Tong glared. "Who said Xiaoqing Ai is coming? Can you leave some suspense for the show?" Yu Zhongqian quickly covered his mouth. Of course, this is also the effect of the show. Who doesn't know that Xiaoqing Ai is on a dating show now? Hey, I have to eat a few more bowls of rice after get off work. Another thing is that our love show has been filmed. Many people may worry that this will be unfair to those who really want to fall in love. Back to the purpose of the program I just introduced, this is a social experiment program, just like your life and mine, it contains all kinds of uncertainties. After the love show ended, we consulted the opinions of every participant. Only after everyone agreed, we sat here and watched this show with everyone. So, let's give the program team a round of applause. It's not easy. In the barrage, I don't know who led the rhythm, everyone was asking for the main film quickly, and the conspicuous people should stop being conspicuous. The more formal Lin Tong said, the more attractive it was to the audience, which meant that this program was really for real, and it really put a big bad wolf among a group of little white sheep. After the guests in the observation room put on their headphones, the serious love variety show scene finally came. The big villa under the sun, the cliff and glass plank road in the backyard, and the big golf course under the cliff. The voiceover of the program was all the guests exclaiming, "This place is so beautiful." The program continued to use the shots with Chen Shen as the main character. The taxi opened, Chen Shen got out of the car, took out a big suitcase from the trunk, and then entered the yard of the villa. If it were other love variety shows, at this time, it is estimated that all the stars in the observation room would be brushed, or the guests were so handsome. What about love this lesson? At this moment, the screen was full of 3 words. The wolf is coming. This kind of tacit understanding of the barrage made Yang Qingqing laugh. The prepared mask has not been applied to her face yet, and she wants to see how this program develops. It's so difficult not to have a pair of successful hand-holding. Yang Qingqing tried to think from another perspective, but found that there was no solution at all. This is not real life. In real life, excellent boys or girls can indeed hook up with several opposite sexes at the same time, but this is under the camera. Even if several people like you at the same time, they won't last for a few days if you don't respond. Respond to all of them. You're not a fool. Can't you tell after spending so much time together? After thinking about it, it seems that it's really better than what the barrage said. Since you can't handle 4 opposite sexes at the same time, it's easier to handle 3 of the same sex. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Se. Chapter 163. Is it so beautiful? Oh my God, so beautiful and well behaved. For a moment, I thought she was my King Ai wife. I feel like her skin is translucent, she has a bookish air, and she also has a brokenness that makes me feel pity for her. Damn it, do you really want a female guest like How? Don't go in, please, there's a big bad wolf in there. Don't open the door, don't open the door. Don't open the door, Don't open the door, don't open the door. When Sumian appeared, not to mention the barrage, the voiceover on the screen also became excited. The editing of the program is very particular. Chen Shen has been led to become a big bad wolf. When a good girl like Sumian appears, it seems that she has a filter of her own, like a pitiful girl who is trying to escape the tiger's mouth. She is so good looking, really, I feel she is as good as Xia King Iu. Zonqian's voice sounded in the voiceover. Lin Tong answered, indeed, we are familiar with King Iu. You were their vocal instructor for the draft that year, right? I hosted the finals. Indeed, this girl really gave me the feeling of Xia King Iu back then. Looks great. Ling Yanhui, who said we can't talk about Xia King Iu. Ha ha ha. Sumian stood at the door, stretched out her hand, put it down, stretched out her hand again, and put it down again. This action touches the hearts of millions of people. At this time, the sense of fragmentation that netizens mentioned is very strong, and some people have begun to feel distressed by the withdrawal and hesitation in his character. Don't open the door, please, there's a wolf inside. She is really, from this angle, so stunning. I just love her looks like this. Okay, let's do it this way. If you have to let me see it, then you've won and attracted me. That's the point of attraction. As the program crew accelerated the timing, the beautiful girl hesitated for at least 7 or 8 minutes before opening the door. Then came the first guest meeting that Lianzone was accustomed to. Chen Shen took the initiative to say hello, and Sumian responded in a daze and trance. When it came to introducing himself, Chen Shen introduced Sumian twice before he could react, and then immediately said his name was Sumian. Emotional expert's voiceover, have you noticed that Chen Shen is very patient? After introducing himself for the first time, he asked Sumian to sit on the sofa. He did not speak immediately and waited for a while before introducing himself again. Once again. Yes, I noticed that he is taking care of the girls and slowly letting the girls get used to it. This girl looks like I at first glance, very socially intimidated. I really like Sumian, she is very well behaved at first glance. The barrage was not so kind. Some people directly criticized emotional experts, saying that Chen Shen must be patient. He is a wolf and he has to find a way to hunt. Sumian followed Chen Shen, who was dragging the box upstairs. Chen Shen took the initiative to give up the space to Sumian and let her visit the house alone, then went downstairs to the backyard. The scene showed Sumian alone, and Sumian seemed to relax all of a sudden, and then she really relaxed. The studio began to praise Chen Shen again, praising him for his sense of propriety. If he was the person, it would definitely be unreasonable for Chen Shen to do this and leave the girl alone. But Sumian is an person and is afraid of society. She can only relax when no one is around, so Chen Shen has done a good job. In the picture, Sumian began to look around and observe the house, and then kept muttering, Chen Shen. Chen Shen. The barrage exploded. Don't remember that name, really. Wow, I feel so bad. Why do you want to find such a girl? He's a master, so he's asking the young lady to take the initiative to remember his name. Why do I feel that you are overthinking it? Chen Shen's mission is that no one can hold hands, including himself. He is also subjectively avoiding getting along with the female guests. Indeed, if it were me, I would definitely choose to see the situation clearly first, who is likely to follow whom, and then think about how to deal with the female guest or the male guest. It's very difficult no matter how you think about it. Don't act like a wolf. I've replaced Chen Shen. His head is already big. How can a girl like Sumian fight for her head and blood? There's also Xia King Ai. Yes, if you were Chen Shen, would you be in a good mood the first moment you saw Sumian? Ha ha ha, I kind of understand. Chen Shen, so good looking? Can't you make the male guests so confused? How can I get my 1 million? Obviously, two groups of fans have gradually differentiated on the barrage. One group is the romance fans, who are naturally resistant to people like Chen Shen who have a mission, and the other group is fans who are interested in Chen Shen's line. They are on various sides. Analyze the pros and cons from Chen Shen's perspective. If you think about it this way, in fact, the uglier the female guest is, the better. It is best if she is so ugly that the male guest is not interested. Seeing people talking about this on the barrage, Yang Qingqing, who was still following the show with great interest, started to laugh again. There are new guests, male or female. Driving by yourself, it's so awesome, sister. This aura. This appearance. How should I put it? She has a very noble feeling. She is fair-skinned, beautiful, and pure, and has a full aura, like a special girl. Chen Shen. Come out and see the beautiful woman, your 1 million is gone, ha ha ha. Absolutely, really, with Sumian and this beautiful woman, Chen Shen's mission has basically failed. It's impossible for anyone to dislike these two people. In the kitchen, the well-behaved beautiful girl suddenly became panicked, and there was a sound at the door. While she was hesitating, she actually trotted to the backyard. A cautious words, someone is coming. The barrage exploded in an instant. Under the sun, the girl's skin seemed to be penetrated by the sun. A few strands of hair were draped on her face because she was running in a panic. Her cautious embarrassment and uneasiness vaguely reflected the fragility of a creature like a woman. Shown vividly. I'm dead. If you ask me to do this, I won't be able to resist for a second, really. How many combinations of the social fear girl and the big bad wolf are enough? Look again, Sumian, I remember you. Chen Shen, it doesn't matter if you don't want 1 million, really. I was really worried that the other male guests wouldn't be able to resist these two young ladies. Now it seems that Chen Shen himself can resist. I watched this scene over and over again 3 times. My appearance is indeed not inferior to that of entertainers in the entertainment industry. Wow, what a stark contrast, the beautiful lady and the socially fearful girl. Chen Shen, let's go. The program team didn't prepare 1 million at all, really. Let me just say this, I am a man, and these two young ladies just need to give me a look, and I will go through fire and water for them. Coming again. Oh, he's quite handsome. Seeing this, it's hard to imagine whether this show will be popular or not. Even with this configuration, the quality is very high even for an ordinary romance show. Not as good as The Big Bad Wolf. Although I don't like The Big Bad Wolf being on a love show, but his looks are really good. Joe Gaiken entered the room, and the barrage was still lively, especially the surprise and daze when Joe Gaiken and Su Mo looked at each other. Before they could get used to it, they saw Sumian again, and their pupils were dilated. These little expressions were perfectly captured by the camera. Capture and barrage are so fun. Then Su Yuan appeared. Su Yuan was undoubtedly a beautiful woman, but her beauty was much softer. The round-faced beauty seemed to have a natural sense of pure kindness, and the more she looked at her, the more pleasing she became. Moreover, as soon as Su Yuan arrived, the atmosphere on the court immediately became lively. A few words could make Joe Gaiken look at her from time to time, turn around and chat with Chen Shen, and start a conversation. The key is that Su Yuan not only chats with boys, he can also chat with Su Mo and Sumian, and he also likes to laugh. There are several voiceovers in the studio that have started to shout, saying that this one is also very good and they start to like it again. When everyone arrived, 6 people sat on the sofa. Chen Shen became silent at first, but Fang Ye and Joe Gaiken were very active and energetic. The barrage is all ha ha ha. Chen Shen's silence was so deafening to the audience. Nice atmosphere, isn't it? But I'm not good, 1 million is gone. I'm laughing so hard. This big bad wolf doesn't look good. Joe Gaikin has already started to take action, trying to get close to him in various ways. Ha ha ha, Fang Ye and Su Mo know each other personally. Su Mo is an investor. A bank project department, an institutional investor, all big guys. Please slap Chen Shen on the face for being a good match. Brothers, Sister Mo is a real boss. Her qualifications can be checked on Baidu. I dare say she is definitely the #1 female guest on the romance show. Senior investor at Vanguard Capital, such a strange word. Isn't it because the young master and the young lady used this program to go on a blind date? Puff. It's over, this is not the big bad wolf. Why do I feel like Chen Shen is the little white sheep? The camera switches to the studio, which is even happier. With just a mutual self-introduction, the guests have already figured out a lot of development trajectories. Lin Tong looked at Ling Yanhui on the left and asked, Yanhui, you have crossed many industries and know more about business. Can you help us learn about Su Mo's career? Ling Yanhui shook his head and sighed, let me tell you this, I still don't believe that Su Mo will come to Lianzhong. In my opinion, this is no more impactful than Xiaoqing's coming to Lianzhong. Fang is also the first in China. He works in the project department of the Yuzhou branch of a large bank, but you can see from his expression that he has an obvious fanboy behavior towards Su Mo, and he is a bit awkward when talking to Su Mo. So powerful, someone answered. Ling Yanhui looked over and nodded affirmatively. As far as I know, domestic investors and women under the age of 30 can be counted on one hand better than Su Mo. The whole studio was filled with exclamations of surprise. Su Mo's qualifications are very good. Vanguard Capital is a family-owned capital. Su Mo has been exposed to the investment industry since he was in college. When he was a junior, he invested in an industrial company that specializes in electrical switches. He entered the Series B round and successfully went public a year and a half later. It has increased 13 times, and now this company is still one of the representative companies in this industry. Although the market value is not high, it is among the top companies in the country in the small category of electrical switches. People who don't understand just think it's awesome, but those who understand see it. Su Mo's Lianzhong has about the same impact as Xiaoqing's Lianzhong. Yu Zhongqian answered, so, can I understand that for Chen Shen, who promotes small noodles, this group of people is actually nothing more than monsters? It's funny, but I can't argue with that. Ha ha ha, if you say that, then I will start to feel sorry for the big bad wolf. Program team, you are going too far. If you don't want to give, then you don't want to give. The gap is too big. Lin Tong corrected him angrily, how to describe it? What kind of monsters and monsters? They are obviously a group of gods. Ha 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 ha. The guests in the studio burst into laughter. The rhythm started very quickly, and all the bullet screens showed people feeling sorry for the big bad wolf. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Se. Chapter 164. After everyone arrived, there was another mutual introduction, and then the camera was handed over to the guests in the observation room. At some point, all 7 guests held a small blackboard on their chests. Lin Tong, according to the rules of the show, we also have tasks, which are heartbeat lines as usual, so everyone is given a small blackboard for connecting. At any point during the show that impresses you, you can start connecting directly. For example, just after Joe Gaikin came, our little Joe was very active and kept asking Sumian questions, ranging from zodiac signs to preferences, which were very targeted, so I will set an example first. After Lin Tong finished speaking, he picked up the pen and drew a line from Zhou Gaiken's name to Su Mian's name. The recording deadline for each issue will be on the heartwarming letters on that day. Whoever has the most correct connections will be awarded a love medal. Although this love medal has no special practical effect, but it can determine some broadcast shares and reflect the value of this type of variety show. It is an indicator for judging whether this type of activity should still find you. The emotional writer shook his head, and the more active Yu Zhongqian immediately caught it. I saw it. I saw our teacher Jinan shaking his head. Teacher Jinan, do you have a different opinion? Our teacher Lin is very easy to talk to, just express it directly. Lin Yanhui answered, nothing, we are fighting alone. You don't care who teacher Lin wants to fight. Come on, teacher Jinan, tell me your opinion quietly, we can chat privately. Lin Tong said angrily, don't leave your seat. The scene burst into laughter. Lin Tong looked at the emotional writer Jinan. Teacher Jinan, are there any emotional dramas that you are optimistic about now? Jinan is a handsome uncle in his 30s. He has written 2 novels about love, one of which was made into a TV series and received good response. Jinan nodded first, then shook his head. It's hard to say. We have to put aside the uncertainty of Chen Shen. The first impression is not necessarily the final result, but the tone of the relationship in the past 2 days can be seen from the first impression. Just like you and me, if there is a person of the opposite sex that you are interested in, and you have to get along day and night, you will definitely put all your energy into him, her, in the next few days. Several guests nodded. Jinan continued, several guests have distinct personalities. Su Mian, a socially fearful girl, Su Mo, a beautiful strong woman, and Su Yuan, an friendly white-collar worker. Before Jinan finished speaking, Yu Zhongqian interrupted, have you noticed that Su Mian she is afraid of girls, Su Yuan is friendly to white-collar workers, and Su Mo is the only beautiful strong woman. Ha ha ha, teacher Jinan seems to like older sister-type girls. Jinan coughed twice unnaturally, and then returned to the topic, I'm just describing. The 3 female guests on our show are all beautiful. There is no doubt about it. As for the boys, Zhou Gaiken is obviously the most opinionated one guest, and there's an inherent edge to his work. That's right, public relations for an entertainment company. This job will come into contact with many artists, someone answered. Am I to understand that he also has access to many girls? I agree with that. Jinan picked up the conversation, so, I shook my head just now to advise teacher Lin not to draw too early conclusions about Zhou Gaiken. At present, I feel that he should be the most advantageous male guest, with an independent personality. He also has the ability to handle crises and is confident. Generally speaking, this kind of boy will not easily identify a certain person. I understand. I am indeed an emotional writer, but do we really want to talk in such depth? Yu Zhongqian looked at Lin Tong. Lin Tong said with a smile, what age is it? It's not like that. Of course, I still have to remind the audience that this is a variety show. Jinan seemed to realize something and quickly added, this is an advantage. Generally speaking, we have 2 styles of falling in love, one is love at first sight, and the other is love that lasts for a long time. Li Ruqing, who was sitting next to Jinan, smiled and answered, I understand. Teacher Jinan is praising Xiaozhou. Indeed, I think the person with the mission should probably choose Xiaozhou. Lin Tong looked around and understood. At present, as for the male guests, everyone is optimistic about Zhou Gaiken, especially Jinan, a professional. Thinking about it carefully, Fang had been paying attention to Su Mo, who was still a little nervous about the content played at this moment. Chen Shen was silent most of the time. The only words he said were that Su Yuan wanted to take care of everyone. People's emotions told him, only Zhou Gaiken kept expressing himself. Lin Tong added, the love connection is equivalent to our main mission, and there is also a side mission. If you were Chen Shen, which method would you use to complete the mission? The person with the closest answer to Chen Shen will also get a love medal. We have 2 periods to complete the side task, and you can submit your answers before the end of the next period. After explaining the rules of the entire observation room, Lin Tong looked towards the program team, and then the guests put on their headphones. As the sun set, the men and women of the villa gathered in the kitchen. Zhou Gaikan was very active, looking at the kitchen utensils and the refrigerator, and volunteered to cook dinner. Xiao Zhou can do it, the rhythm is all in his hands, Ling Yanhui's voiceover sounded. Mian, Zhou Gaikan changed his name to Su Mian. It seems that he does have a good impression of Su Mian. When he asked for a helper, he looked at Su Mian. Someone answered. Sure enough, there is a market for boys who take the initiative, so Su Yuan took the initiative to help. It's over, why do I feel that Zhou Gaikan is going to be the big winner? Just when everyone was watching with gusto, Li Ruqing suddenly covered her mouth. Wow! The moment the program was frozen was when Su Mian looked at Chen Shen and said that she wanted to cook with Chen Shen. The screen returned to the studio again. Lin Tong looked at Ji Nan. You are all very brave. Zhou Gaikan secretly invited Su Mian to cook dinner together. Su Mian did not answer. Su Yuan offered to help, and then Su Mian took the initiative to follow Chen Shen cooks together. Teacher Ji Nan, what do you think? Ji Nan was silent for a moment and then said, there are many factors. The so-called spark of love will not happen on the first day, but the situation is obviously more obvious. Let's call them by their names. Chan is indeed very confident, but he doesn't seem to understand Su Mian very well. A girl who hesitates for so long to open the door is obviously not used to Akan's enthusiasm. I also feel it. Mianmian's social fear is very obvious. Ji Nan nodded, yes, it may be because of his personality. Chen Shen, who talks less, can obviously make Mian relax better. The more aggressive Akan is, the more resistant Mian will be. Chen Shen, who is more comfortable with Mian, is more comfortable with Mian the more obvious it is in the field of vision. I understand it this way, so Mian dared to say in front of everyone that she wanted to cook with Chen Shen. Ha, can I understand this? The more Akan takes the initiative towards Mian, is he actually pushing Mian towards Chen Shen? Lin Tong also became happy, it seems to be so interesting. The main reason is that Akan is a little impatient. When facing people who are afraid of society, you can't be too enthusiastic. If there is no gap, they will be overwhelmed. So, our brother Shen has won a lot, Yu Zhongqian asked with some uncertainty. Ling Yanhui shook his head, it's hard to say. It's only the first day. If Chen Shen falls in love normally, he has a chance, but his task is too difficult. I have already connected 3 people in my love connection. Yu Zhongqian looked over, let me take a look. On Ling Yanhui's small blackboard, Su Mo and Fang also connected each other, and Su Yuan's line also marked the arrow and connected it to Zhou Gaikan's name. Yu Zhongqian smiled and said, I'm really optimistic about Chen Shen. Ling Yanhui and Yu Zhongqian looked at each other. They were both veteran variety artists, and they instantly understood what the other wanted to do. Being optimistic doesn't necessarily mean being really optimistic, but it needs to be effective. Ling Yanhui looked at the small blackboard and saw that he would not suffer any loss, so he smiled and said, impossible. From the current point of view, Chen Shen's mission is impossible to complete. Indeed, Su Mo and Fang knew each other personally, were related at work, and communicated smoothly. This pair seems to be relatively stable. Su Yuan's personality is more outgoing than Zhou Gaikan, which makes people feel particularly comfortable. I feel that if she is really interested in Zhou Gaikan, this pairing will not be difficult, another guest answered. Lin Tong smiled and said, you have made arrangements, right? Don't ask for the 1 million, just have a good relationship with Mian. Hearing what Lin Tong said, Ling Yanhui looked at Yu Zhongqian with a proud face. Yu Zhongqian was dissatisfied and looked at Jinan. Teacher Jinan, do you think Chen Shen can complete that task? Jinan smiled and said, let's be smart. Teacher Lin is the host. He is close to the director team. Even he is not optimistic about it. What do you think? I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Se. Chapter 165. The show continues, mostly in the kitchen. Zhou Gaikan and Su Yuan cooked together and chatted. According to the editing by the program team, Zhou Gaikan was obviously more proactive towards Su Mian, but as he chatted with Su Yuan, the smiles on his face grew more and more. At first, Su Yuan asked and Zhou Gaikan answered, but later it became Zhou Gaikan asking Su Yuan and answering. On the barrage, some people have already started to smoke. It's a perfect match. Two extroverted personalities meet together. It seems really harmonious. This sister is so strong. She gives so much emotional value and always praises others. The second male lead is obviously a bit unable to stand it. But she praised it for everything, it's not greasy. Yes, I admit that I have neglected Miss Yuan a little. She is so amazing. I can't help it. I still like Mian. She looks so much like me. I'm also socially anxious. I want to buy a piece of clothing I've fallen in love with while passing by, but I don't dare to go in every time I pass by. I originally thought Chen Shen was a big bad wolf, but now it looks like he's just a husky. Ha 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 ha, I have already started to feel sorry for him. Brother TT couldn't buy a spot for 8 million, but he took 1 million for it, but when he came, he found out that they were all gods. Except for this little idiot Mian, I feel like Chen Shen is no match for anyone. If you are going to say that, then I will start to feel sorry for Mian. Ha ha ha, the program team is very good at finding people. This question is too difficult for Chen Shen. If Sister Mo and Brother Ye are together, how will Chen Shen break the situation? Hey, I still feel sorry for the big bad wolf. From making dinner to eating dinner, Chen Shen is a well-behaved person in the camera. Fang also chatted with Su Mo from time to time, and both of them seemed to be willing to understand each other. Where is Zhou Gaikan? While responding to Su Yuan, he took the initiative to look for Su Mian, looking a little at ease under the camera. In the studio, everyone takes off their headphones. Gone? Just gone, Yu Zhongqian glared. I didn't see enough, really, I just started to get excited. No wonder you like to record this kind of program, it's really interesting. Ling Yanhui smiled and said, it's unexpectedly good looking, better than the TV series. This kind of hook is much stronger than the succession and transition of the TV series. Lin Tong glanced at his connection blackboard and then said, the main thing is to control the duration. It is not easy to spread out the whole situation in the first period. Come on, let's talk about our respective connections. After Lin Tong finished speaking, he looked to the far left. Sitting on the far left was an actor in his 30s, who was recording this kind of program for the first time. After a shy smile, he began to say, I mostly relied on intuition, and a little reference from teacher Ru Qing's answers. Sister Mo and Brother Ye should be relatively stable. The two of them are a bit like a blind date, although they can't be seen too much. It's very pink and bubbly, but it feels stable. I think Mian is safe. Zhou Gaikan took the initiative to push Mian towards Chen Shen. Brother Ye is devoted to Su Mo and has basically no contact with Mian. Therefore, Mian's letter will most likely be written if it's given to Chen Shen, the others won't be sure. Li Ruqing answered, I am basically the same, but I am still a little sure about Xiao Zhou. He will definitely give the letter to Mian. As teacher Jinan said at the beginning, the first impression in the first few days is very important. Yu Zhongqian retorted, I have a different view on this. I think Xiaozhou will give the letter to Yuan. Mian obviously avoided Xiaozhou's eyes when cooking, and also deliberately sat with Chen Shen when eating. These things signal Xiaozhou should be able to see it. Ling Yanhui directly went against the grain, turned over his small blackboard, and connected Zhou Gaikan's line to Su Mian's body in front of Yu Zhongqian. I wasn't sure at first, but I know my brother Qian, he has always had bad luck, just do the opposite. Ha 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 ha. Where are Yuan and Chen Shen? How did you connect these two people? Someone stood up and looked at everyone. Yu Zhongqian glanced at Ling Yanhui's small blackboard and said with a smile, it's not difficult to be kind. Although she is the only girl who can chat with the three male guests, she is mostly doing it out of social courtesy. This is easy to distinguish. At present, the person she has the most contact with is Xiaozhou. Even out of politeness, a girl like her will give her first letter to Xiaozhou. Many people nodded. They felt that Su Yuan was not difficult to judge, but Chen Shen was the most difficult to judge. Everyone looked at each other, and finally looked at Ling Yanhui, because Ling Yanhui's small blackboard had been published, and he had seen it clearly. On his blackboard, a line belonging to Chen Shen was connected to Su Yuan's name. It is precisely because of this that everyone is somewhat silent. Yanhui, why do you think Chen Shen would give the letter to Yuan? Lin Tong asked. Ling Yanhui smiled and said, my logic is very simple. I feel that Chen Shen is still confused until now. He may be confused by this scene. Let's imagine that he has a special mission and is still thinking about what to do. What is the result? The female guests who come are more beautiful than the other, and they are more bluffing than the other at work, and they are all new friends. It would be strange not to be confused, so whoever gives him more signals will be the most conspicuous. Lin Tong, you mean Chen Shen has no choice but to follow the normal process? Ling Yanhui nodded, yes, it's too difficult. This task is impossible to complete. He may have realized it himself, so he didn't take action. However, the rules of the program team must be followed, so he can only give the letter to Yuan. Yu Zhongqian retorted, why not to Mian? Ling Yanhui shook his head, no, Chen Shen is confused and Mian is socially phobic. They are close now because of the environment. Do you think they can reach a tacit understanding without saying anything in this environment? Many people frowned, as if they began to doubt their answers. Yu Zhongqian looked at his small blackboard. He thought Chen Shen would write the letter to Su Mian, but what Ling Yanhui said seemed to make some sense. Yu Zhongqian looked at the emotional writer, teacher Jinan, what do you think? Jinan smiled, and then showed his small blackboard, Chen Shen's line is different from Brother Hui's. I am connected to Mian, but what Brother Hui said makes sense. I just think that even if Chen Shen is confused, he will remember his mission. Otherwise, Teacher Lin would not give us a side mission and let us guess how Chen Shen completed his mission. When Jinan said this, not only in the studio, but also in the barrage, people said that Jinan was a thief. This is not an emotional expert, it is obvious that he is looking for references from the program team. Since they have issued a side quest, it proves that Chen Shen is not without achievements. The heart of the writer is really dirty. That makes sense. We are asked to guess what method Chen Shen used, which means that Chen Shen must have used some method. Ha ha ha, the writer must have sharp thinking. Jinan continued, why did I choose Mian? Because I think Chen Shen's personality is relatively stable. He must first ensure that a girl's attention is on him. Will giving it to Yuan have such an effect? Jinan looked at everyone, all shaking their heads. Su Yuan's personality is as opinionated as Zhou Gaikan. She is more likely to pay attention to people she likes, rather than a letter to attract her attention. But Mian is different. Under Zhou Gaikan's initiative, Chen Shen himself is a special coordinate. If the letter is returned, Mian may really keep her attention on Chen Shen. Ling Yanhui quietly erased Chen Shen's line. Yu Zhongqian glared, "What are you doing?" Lin Tong looked over and smiled, "Can you stick to your own opinion? How reasonable is what you just said?" Ling Yanhui ignored it and changed Chen Shen's line to Su Mian's name, "I'm not stupid. My situation is normal, but Chen Shen is a special person. I thought about it. What teacher Jinan said makes sense. Even if he is confused, he will not forget his mission." Mian gave him the signal and took the initiative to cook with him. If it were me, I would also give the letter to Mian, at least to stabilize one female guest first. Yes, if Chen Shen doesn't give the letter to Mian's attention will be diverted. At that time, the task will become difficult for Chen Shen again. Fortunately, I am also connected to Mian. Li Ruqing smiled and said, "Brother Hui, what if Chen Shen really gives the letter to Yuan later?" Ling Yanhui thought about it and smiled, then blamed teacher Jinan. "I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me?" Author, Qingzhou Mi Se. Chapter 166. Lin Tong asked almost everyone, and then asked everyone to put on headphones and look at the big screen. The guests of the Love Variety show went downstairs one by one to deliver their first letter. After the shot of delivering the letter, there was an animated panel with the names of 6 people on each side, male and female. The barrage was still dense. Brother Ye and sister Mo are very stable, they really voted for each other. Brother Ye wrote too much, it's dense. Ha ha ha, I thought Fang Ye was a domineering president, not to mention much, but you are too formal. The barrage was hilarious. Fang Ye's letter was written all over the paper, and some of the content was mosaicked. The program marked it with text that it involved industry secrets. The first paragraph was a serious self-introduction, the second paragraph talked about hearing about Su Mo and finding something different after contact, and the last paragraph introduced the city of Yuzhou. Although some people in the barrage joked that Fang Ye was an honest man, many people agreed with him and were very sincere. The guests in the observation room in the voiceover were also talking about this. Su Mo's letter was much shorter. She talked about her feelings on the first day. It was very fresh and adventurous. She hoped that she could let go a little. Later, she mentioned Fang Ye, saying that with Fang Ye, a person in the same industry, they were not completely unfamiliar. Is this the way mature people express their affection? It seems not bad. It looks good. Even without the setting of the big bad wolf, it looks good. It is really sincere. Brother Ye and sister Mo are likely to be tied together. Look at Brother Ye's letter alone, honest man, after reading sister Mo's. They are a good match. This sincere CP is really worth eating. They are both big guys and are very sincere. What I like most is this kind of stable start. Who said there are no pink bubbles? Isn't there? They have their own rhythm. Yes, a group of people who dare not open their love affairs are actually pointing fingers at the guests who come with such great sincerity. It's ridiculous. I don't know where the rhythm started, the whole screen is full of good matches. Zhou Gaikan is the most controversial one besides Chen Shen. Many people guessed that he would give the letter to Su Mian, and many people also guessed that he would give the letter to Su Yuan. When Zhou Gaikan's line was pulled to Su Mian's name, many people in the observation room celebrated. The first impression is indeed important. Mian is so beautiful. That slight sense of brokenness is just right. It attracts the attention of boys. Yes, although Sister Mo is beautiful, Sister Mo's aura is too strong. She walks with the wind, which will make many boys stay away. Yuan's beauty feels less extra attributes. I surrender. Choose Yuan. Yuan is so good. Mian doesn't pay much attention to Xiaozhou. Men are like this. What they can't get is always in turmoil. Yuan really chose Xiaozhou. Xiaozhou does have an advantage. Yang Qingqing was still guarding in front of the tablet. She put on the mask while the guests in the observation room were chatting. Maybe because there was a hidden line, the situation edited by the director team in the first episode was very obvious. The only one who went wrong was Xiaozhou, who gave the letter to Sumian. Although the letters of the second pair were not sent to each other, the content was not much. Zhou Gaikan wrote to Sumian, mostly some exploration, such as asking Sumian if she was the kind of person who was slow to warm up. Then he said that he was actually slow to warm up, and comforted him, saying that being slow to warm up was not bad. Su Yuan wrote to Zhou Gaikan, basically praising him, praising his good cooking skills, proper interpersonal relationships, enthusiasm, etc. Seeing this letter, Yang Qingqing smiled knowingly, and their personalities were also reflected in the letter. Many guests in the observation room paid attention to Su Mo, but what about the barrage? Most of them were on Sumian. Yang Qingqing felt that she still liked Su Yuan more. She felt that Su Yuan's praise of others' strengths were actually Su Yuan's own strengths. Yang Qingqing felt that if she was friends with Su Yuan, she would get a lot of emotional value, and she liked this kind of person now. For the last pair, someone inexplicably brushed the big bad wolf and the socially anxious girl on the barrage. The wolf that eats grass vs the sheep that comes to the door. Stop the barrage. Wolf sheep CP. The wolf that eats grass. I'm so funny, Mian should change her name to Mimi, ha 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 ha. The barrage was very lively. If you don't turn on the simplified barrage mode, you can't see the program screen at all. Sumian's line is indeed tied to Chen Shen. On the screen, a picture-in-picture appeared, and the guests in the observation room who had not made any mistakes so far basically stood up. For them, Chen Shen's choice is very important. A light red line extends from Chen Shen's name and finally stops at Su Yuan's name. Wow, I don't accept it. I connected it this way at the beginning, I don't care, Ling Yanhui shouted directly. I'm so angry, just one more thing, just this one more thing. Why, is he really confused? He didn't get the affection that Mian showed him. I'm so angry, Chen Shen. What are you doing? The observation room was filled with wailing, and the whole army was annihilated. They all thought that Chen Shen would give the letter to Sumian. Lin Tong shook her head, Teacher Jinan, let's let the professionals explain it. Jinan smiled bitterly and bowed to everyone, am I overthinking? I don't care, Teacher Jinan, you owe me a love medal. I was really convinced by you to change the connection. Amid the wailing, the content of Sumian's letter was announced. There was only one sentence. What kind of person is he? The content of Chen Shen's letter followed, I'm very happy to meet you all. I was comforted at night. Girls who love to laugh will definitely have good luck. The observation room was already wailing, but it became even more uneasy after seeing Chen Shen's letter. No brother, are you still in the mood to be so polite? Think about your mission. Is this talking about when they were taking a walk after dinner? Did Yuan have such a deep impression after just chatting with him for a few words? People in the observation room didn't quite understand that the program group retained the content of taking a walk after dinner, but this was only a small segment compared to the content of cooking and eating. When Su Yuan was at the dinner table, he praised Fang Ye for looking like a stable and generous person. In the first episode, Su Yuan had the largest share. The barrage is different from the observation room. The observation room can't wait to beat its chest. The barrage is all ha ha ha. The boss summed it up so vividly, it's really a wolf sheep CP. It makes me laugh so hard. The bleeding sheep came to my door unsolicited, but the big bad wolf eats grass. Ha ha ha. Mian really has a crush on Chen Shen. She is trying to find out what kind of person Chen Shen is. So it's a sheep, but Chen Shen is a big bad wolf, and he's still a big bad wolf who can't eat meat. Chen Shen, maid, if I had known I wouldn't have needed 100,000. After venting for a while in the observation room, everyone sat down together to make the final summary. Lin Tong, do you still remember our side mission? You have to submit the answer after the next issue. Does anyone have the answer now? Most people were shaking their heads. Yu Zhongqian then said, it's too difficult. Su Mo and Fang Ye both seem to be extremely stable people. If they want to hold hands, Chen Shen's mission will be a 100% failure. Yes, if I were Chen Shen, facing Fang Ye and Su Mo, my scalp would be numb. It would be like a big mountain standing in front of him. Another thing is that Su Yuan looks carefree and chatting and laughing. Such a person means that too she is a very assertive person. She gave the letter to Xiaozhou, and it would be difficult to change Yuan's concept unless she encouraged Xiaozhou to keep focusing on Mian Mian. It's easy to catch the horse. I think I have the answer now. Without a method, Chen Shen can't complete his mission. Jinan answered, we may have overlooked one point. It is impossible for Chen Shen not to notice Mian Mian's affection for him, but could he deliberately not give the letter to Mian Mian? Everyone looked at Jinan, and Ling Yanhui complained, it's an afterthought, right? Jinan raised her hand towards Ling Yanhui again, think about it, if it were you, would it be a good thing or a bad thing to have a girl like Mian Mian show affection for you? Li Ruqing glared, I understand, if it is a normal person, it must be a good thing, but Chen Shen has a mission, and he cannot surrender on the first day. Jinan gave a thumbs up to Li Ruqing, it's only now that I figured it out. We need to know one thing. We watch the show to see the effect. They are facing real people. Chen Shen's mission is destined to be useless. Although Mian Mian's good feelings are forced by the environment, they are without impurities. This kind of good feelings is a kind of pressure for Chen Shen. Lin Tong patted his thigh, I also understand that if Chen Shen responds to Mian Mian, although he has stabilized Mian Mian's attention, subjectively, he will live up to a girl's unadulterated favor. Ling Yanhui scratched his head, is it so complicated? Jinan sighed, so, the difficulty of Chen Shen's task has doubled again. It is not only a question of whether it can be completed, but also human concerns and the pressure under the camera. You have to stabilize any girl. You have to sacrifice the good side of your humanity. In the end, the girl looks at you sincerely and waits for you to confess your love. Do you really have the heart to turn around and leave? But we can't really be together, right? Because the starting point is not love, someone asked. Jinan nodded, this is the pressure behind the camera I'm talking about. Even if Chen Shen really fell in love with a girl, would he dare to be with her? When the girl saw the contract that Chen Shen signed with the director at the beginning, she felt unhappy. Would you mind? Not to mention Ling Yanhui starting to scratch his head, several people frowned and adjusted their sitting postures. They thought this task was too simple. Lin Tong concluded, there is a big question mark as to whether this task can be completed. Perhaps the so-called social experiment attributes of the program team were placed on Chen Shen. I was worried about Yankin with wolves at first, but, now I'm worried about the wolf in Yankin. This task is indeed difficult. It is multifaceted and multidimensional. I can only say that our program team is really brave to even do such a program. The rest of the people nodded with deep understanding. Until now, they have never discussed whether this show is exciting or not. Because there is no need for discussion, from the first scene, it is exciting enough for them to be fully invested in watching this show. Ling Yanhui initially talked about fishing, but this is actually an unspoken rule of this type of program. Many people come to this type of program just to rest. Pay money to sit there, watch TV, express your feelings, it's that simple. However, this program left several guests scratching their heads while watching it, like watching a suspense movie. It's so scary, I feel sorry for the big bad wolf. I haven't seen enough. Can you watch it on demand in advance? I'll pay for it. Mata, is it gone? I came here for Xia King Ai, but King Ai didn't see it, so I got myself into trouble. Indeed, this is an impossible task. No matter how I think about it, there is no angle. Moreover, Chen Shen has trapped himself. Even if he likes a girl, he can't have a good relationship. I put myself in his shoes. I feel so desperate. I can't complete the task, and I can't be moved, because being moved will be a burden and harm to the female guests. If it were a group of ordinary female guests, it would be fine, but who can resist these few? There is also Xia King Ai. Xia King Ai's charm is at the level of a big devil. Indeed, you guys felt sorry for the big bad wolf before, and I was happy with it. Now I really feel sorry for it. It turns out that the social experiment is the wolf of the experiment. Amid the dense barrage, the program came to an end. Lin Tong began to talk about the broadcast time of the next episode. Before he finished, he left. The camera turned, and the other guests had gathered together to discuss. Not to mention the barrage, they didn't see enough and wanted to know the subsequent development. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Se. Chapter 167. Yang Qingqing stretched herself. The show was over, but she was still not satisfied. She pulled the progress bar to the beginning and read the content of the contract signed by Chen Shen and the program group at the beginning. Yang Qingqing shook her head and sighed, it turns out that I was too abrupt. She only found out in the morning that Xia King Ai was going to be on a love variety show. She was very surprised. She felt that there was no benefit for Xia King Ai to be on a love variety show. Now it seems that it is not necessarily the case. Sister Rooking, the love variety show you recorded is really good. I watched it completely. This is the first time I think this kind of show is so interesting. Yang Qingqing sent a message to Li Rooking on WeChat. Li Rooking replied with a screenshot. Yang Qingqing clicked on the screenshot, then immediately opened Weibo and stared. There are already 2 hot searches on Weibo in the top 10 about love this class. Trainee took the script to the love variety show. If you pay attention to this matter, you will find that this hot search is very familiar. Didn't it already happen once? Why is it here again? Click in, a group of fun people ha 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 ha. Everyone is saying that Weibo really didn't lie to me this time, there was no clickbait at all, it turned out that they really used the script to appear on a dating variety show. This trending search has jumped to the 4th place. The next one is feeling sorry for the big bad wolf. Bad news, the wolf is coming, good news, the wolf is a vegetarian. This is the hot comment under this trending search, with more than 110,000 likes, and the data changes every time it is refreshed. The best love variety show in history is here, really, no exaggeration, the only negative review is that it doesn't allow me to spend money on advanced on-demand viewing. It's good, I highly recommend it. If it's not good, please kill me. The appearance ceiling plus the setting ceiling, it's definitely a hit show. No, there's another negative review, the wolf is too weak, a person who does small noodle promotion, even if he has been a trainee, he certainly can't stir up the entire show. Indeed, the sheep is too strong, that's Su Mo, a super beauty in the financial industry. You overlooked one thing, Xia King Ai is the second batch. I really haven't seen enough, and I haven't watched variety shows for a long time. This is the first time I have this feeling when watching a variety show. The wolf is indeed a bit weak. Yang Qingqing rarely watches variety shows, but she gets addicted when she gets into it. She reads the comments under the hot searches and laughs. She also saw people discussing the program mechanism. She is an expert and can tell at a glance that this is a good thing. This kind of people generally don't watch this kind of show, and even if they do, they won't say anything. They can still seriously discuss this matter on Weibo, which means that only those who really think it's wonderful will say it. Just like herself, she didn't watch enough of the show, so she came to see the response to the show. Her phone vibrated several times, but she didn't care. Weibo is now also an intelligent mechanism. If you are interested in something, it will be pushed to you. Yang Qingqing saw someone speak. Yu Zhongqian, I have been holding back for a long time. I really want to recommend this show to you. I waited until today. It's good, right? Ling Yanhui, ha ha ha, I really went to record it to slack off, but a bunch of brain cells died. After the first recording, everyone was a little excited. They dragged Teacher Lin to have a midnight snack. I wanted to ask Teacher Lin if he knew the direction of the show, but he didn't know. It's annoying. Yang Qingqing liked the two people. She used her own account, but it didn't matter. A good show deserves more popularity. She said she was abrupt before, and she thought that the love show would rely on Xia King Ai to support the popularity, but Xia King Ai didn't come out yet, and she was already interested. Sister Rooking, your show is going to be a hit, Yang Qingqing replied on WeChat. Li Rooking, haha, guess why I went to this show? I thought I signed with Huanyu, and it was the first project Huanyu gave me, so I should give them some face, but ha ha ha. Hee hee. My agent also mentioned it to me, but I didn't take it seriously. I thought there was nothing to do with a niche show like a dating show, Yang Qingqing sighed. The agent did mention it, and along with several other projects, Yang Qingqing was thinking that if they didn't renew the contract, why would they still cooperate in work? Now, even a fool can see that this show is going to be a hit. Yang Qingqing knows Yu Zhongqian, who always says what he thinks, so it's normal for him to post news about the dating show on Weibo. But Ling Yanhui is a more realistic person. If there is no benefit, he will definitely not post related things. To put it bluntly, even artists of their level want to take advantage of this trend at the beginning of the show. It's okay. We just finished recording the third episode. I tell you, the later the better. Did you see me in the first episode? I was a little bit pretentious. That's because I'm not used to it. I went crazy with them in the third episode. I'll talk to the director. With your status, who can refuse to fly once? Li Rooking's message came again. Yang Qingqing pondered for a while, is it really possible? Li Rooking, it's a bit late now. I'll talk to the director tomorrow. Thank you, Sister Rooking. Hee hee, the first job of starting a business is of this level, ha ha ha. However, I saw the discussion online. The wolf is indeed a bit weak. The setting of the two lines is particularly good. The love line has been supported. I'm afraid that the secondary line can't keep up. Seeing that Li Rooking was not shy with her, Yang Qingqing boldly discussed with Li Rooking. Ha ha ha, Qingqing, I was too careless. Let me tell you this, we are in the third episode of recording, and the love story is now the most powerful one among brothers, and the secondary story is the most powerful one. Are you weak? Ha ha ha, you are too strong. Do you remember that I told you this morning that I like Chen Shen? Yang Qingqing stared, what do you mean? Li Rooking, no spoilers, hee hee. Yang Qingqing, no, my curiosity is in my throat. Li Rooking, I really can't spoil it. Anyway, Chen Shen is very strong, super strong, so much so that I have a filter for him now. Didn't you say that he also had conflicts with the company? I feel that he will not suffer any losses. Yang Qingqing, damn it. Is it really that great? Can it be released in advance on demand? Can you give your director some advice? Will it make money? Li Ruking, I feel that our company is going to be lively. Now I am also curious about why Chen Shen chose Huan Yu. Didn't he expect that he would become popular? Yang Qing, stop talking, I will no longer be a Huan Yu person. You say it's my loss if I leave Huan Yu. Li Ruking, ha ha ha, I won't talk to you anymore. I'm going to watch Douyin. The show is also very popular on Douyin. In the hotel, Chen Shen closed the curtains. He sat in front of the computer for almost a whole day. Not only did he finish writing Nirvana in Fire, he also went through it himself and enriched a lot of content by comparing it with his memory. The phone has been vibrating, and I just took it over now. Someone is still sending WeChat messages. Note, Wenwen is Chen Shen's cousin. Brother? Is it you, brother? I watched the show, it was great. Brother, it turns out that you met Sister Mian Mian in Lianzhong. Are you two together? Wow. Sister Mian Mian is so cute. Sister Mian Mian is so beautiful. Hee, I sent her a message and she replied to me. It means that talking to you will not hurt Sister Mian Mian as those people analyzed. Damn it, Sister Mian Mian has responded to me, but you haven't responded to me. You don't recognize your sister anymore when you get angry, right? Not only Wenwen was sending messages to herself, but Zhang Kaija and the others were also sending messages. Chen Shen went to the small group of 4 of them and yelled, I will delete anyone who sends me messages again. Chen Wenwen, no, just don't post it. My mother just asked me if I asked you. She was too embarrassed to ask, ha ha ha. Chen Mo, brother, you are going to be popular. It's true. Weibo is full of people discussing your show. I'm still browsing Weibo now. It's so cool. Zhang Kaija, brother, tell me who is the sister-in-law. Chen Wenwen. I still have to ask, it must be Sister Mian Mian. Didn't I tell you? Sister Mian Mian just responded to my message, and she also said she wanted to play games with me. Zhang Kaija, Wenwen, please don't talk nonsense. I saw Mr. Su during the day. My mother said that Mr. Su and Brother Shen must be together. She also said that Brother Shen was a ruthless person and would disgrace the old Chen family. Chen Mo. Chen Wenwen, Mr. Su? Who is it? Zhang Kaija, Su Mo, that beautiful woman with the strongest aura. Chen Mo, me. Chen Wenwen, huh? That Sister Mo? Does she like our brother? Chen Shen, you are not allowed to give her pocket money in the future. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Mi Se. Chapter 168. On WeChat, in addition to several younger brothers and sisters, Zhang Ying also sent a lot of messages. But most of them are screenshots of various hot searches. Chen Shen doesn't watch much, and he doesn't know how to watch the show. When he watches his own show, he will fall into a kind of self-training psychological logic. For example, if you think a certain clip is good, you will think about amplifying the performance at that time. If a certain clip is not good, you will think about avoiding it. This is Chen Shen's acting experience. Taking one film and forgetting the other is the best state of an actor. And he doesn't feel that his performance in the drama is very good. According to Chen Shen's current standards, what does it mean to be good? Love drama is a career. According to the logic of the career, you have to lie when you need to, and you have to coax when you need to. Everything is based on the effect of the program. What is the result? I had too many worries and finished the program without restraint. He also brought things above and below the program, which is very unprofessional. Chen Shen suddenly smiled, thinking of those figures. You have to give it up, at least so far, I am very happy. I've finished reading the first issue. It's very interesting, but I suggest you stop reading it and don't feel any psychological pressure. Just treat it as a job. Xiaoqing I also sent a message. Sent half an hour ago. Chen Shen replied, how can you be so fragile? After replying to Xiaoqing I's message, Chen Shen began to read other people's messages. About 2 minutes later, Xiaoqing I's voice call came over. Chen Shen had a smile on his face and swiped to connect. From the end of the show to now, he has been communicating with Xiaoqing I. Chen Shen knows that Xiaoqing I is busy and is working hard on a new album. Xiaoqing I may know that Chen Shen is also busy. Are you thinking about it? Chen Shen's answer is of course. On the one hand, a man must put his career first, but on the other hand, do you think I can't stand you? What are you doing? Xiaoqing I's smart voice immediately rang out. Filming outside. In a luxurious community in Yuzhou, Xiaoqing I was lying on the bed in pajamas. She was not covered with a quilt. The cotton pajamas were stiff to the knees due to Xiaoqing I's movements, and her exposed calves showed breasts. White complexion. Xiaoqing hummed, somewhat dissatisfied with Chen Shen's particularly formal tone. No wonder Yuan reacted like that. You decided to lie to her on the first day. Chen Shen smiled and said, didn't you just advise me not to have any psychological pressure? Now you are taking the initiative to put pressure on me. Hearing Chen Shen's words with laughter, Xiaoqing I's expression slowly softened. These are two different things. I understand you, and now I understand you. It seems that she is not a love brain, but has a bad thing. It was bad from the beginning. Then let me call her to comfort her. Xiaoqing stood up and didn't answer the question at first, but there was no movement from Chen Shen. After waiting for a while, Xiaoqing said, then you can fight. I'll fight later. Then you fight now. Busy now. Xiaoqing burst out laughing, and Chen Shen followed suit. Then Xiaoqing I said in a strange tone, it sounds like she still cares about you. I have lived with her for more than half a month and know her better than you do. She is a girl who dares to love and hate. She can't return such a liar. Ignore you. Can I fall into the same pit twice? Chen Shen just laughed, and Xiaoqing I's voice became smaller and smaller. After there were no program rules, Xiaoqing I was a little frightened. Are you busy too? Chen Shen began to ask. Xiaoqing I's tone was obviously much happier, that's for sure. It's pretty much the same as you anyway. You film and I produce a new album. Then you're not busy now, are you? I'm not busy now, how about you? If I'm still busy now, I'll go on strike. Haha. In this atmosphere, these few words are not asking whether the other person is busy at all. There is no fixed relationship, and chatting itself is cautious. Chen Shen asked Xiaoqing I if he was also busy. He explained that he was very busy and was afraid that Xiaoqing I would be busy. Xiaoqing I's answer also expressed the same meaning. It's not that I don't contact you, it's because I'm busy and I'm afraid you'll be busy. I heard from Sister Lan that your life at Huanyu was not good. On the first day you went to report, you were bullied by an old agent. It seems that someone also made things difficult for you during the filming, right? Xiaoqing said in a low voice. After testing, they began to explain to each other, and after confirming that the other party was in a similar state to what they thought, they started talking about some deeper topics. Have you been bullied? However, there was no need to correct this kind of thing with Xiaoqing. Chen Shen smiled and said, isn't it like this in the entertainment industry? You are oppressed differently in Chongqing. Xiaoqing I hummed and said, you will definitely not be bullied when you come to Yuan. Sister Lan values you so much. It seems that Huanyu and Yuan have penetrated each other very thoroughly. Both parties are aware of any slightest disturbance. What is this? It's not secrets that have never seen the light of day. Are you in Hongdian? Don't come, you might come back soon. So serious, Xia King Ai frowned. She really thought about whether to visit the class. She knew more or less about Chen Shen's character, Xia King Ai, who seemed to be stable, but was actually radical and not someone who could suffer losses. If someone bullies him, he will definitely come back. Going to visit the class by yourself can give him some reputation, which is more or less useful. I originally wanted to make a phone call to confirm the time. It's okay. Isn't this going to be popular? Isn't the portion going to increase? Xia King Ai said angrily, where are you coaxing the children? Huh? Is our King Ai so smart? Hurry up, now is not the time to be polite, don't talk nonsense, I will do whatever you say. Perhaps fearing that Chen Shen felt that his words were a bit out of bounds, Xia King Ai added, didn't you say that you hope I hope you are well too. Chen Shen sighed, can he blame himself for being unprofessional? Xia King Ai, a female idol who can get out of the industry with her looks, in her previous life, would have been at the level of a fairy sister, at least like Gilanat Tzadilraba. The key is to be smart and not be fooled by what you said. In fact, the more popular Chen Shen is now, the more burdened he becomes. Why couldn't people handle Chen Shen when he was at Black Gold Entertainment? Why are you blocking me because of Chen Shen's bad behavior? I'm still a popular drinker. If you keep me, I'll quarrel with you every day and slam the table. I have money to spend, but I'm not afraid of public opinion. I'm not timid. It would be weird if I don't send you away. What now? The more popular Chen Shen is, the easier it will be for Huan Yu to get stuck. Being popular means that he can be monetized and can develop quickly, but the contract is in the hands of Huan Yu. With the entertainment industry's thinking, it will delay you when you are popular, and it will basically be useless. What if we slap the table and quarrel? You have become famous and are no longer barefoot. What artists fear most is public opinion. Xiaoqing understood all these sects, so he was not fooled. Don't sigh, don't be afraid, it's okay. I've encountered this kind of thing before. When the talent show became popular, the company and Penguin Video didn't have a good cooperation agreement at the beginning. I thought I was going to be operated. I couldn't win. Number 1, actually, you are so good at writing songs. For them, the interests involved are huge, and maybe they are more anxious. Yaking Ai's voice was small and soft, as if he was talking. It's like coaxing people. Chen Shen smiled and said, you are the one who coaxes the children. It's not that exaggerated. I'm really not afraid of those people in Huan Yu. Just like you said, they are the ones who are worried. Unless they get really angry, they won't do anything difficult. It's just a matter of flattery. Besides, am I that immature? Humph, you'd better tell the truth. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Mi Se. Chapter 169. In another ordinary business hotel, Chase Hyla was sitting in front of the computer watching a TV show, Chen Shen's romantic drama. He laughed a little for a while, then immediately became serious again. He was amused by some of the barrages. The phone started to vibrate, and Chase Hyla frowned. He had almost finished reading and didn't want to answer the phone. After glancing at it, he realized it was Chen Tianhui. Chase Hyla thought about it and clicked pause. What's up? Why do you feel a little angry? Is that guy Chen Shen causing trouble again? Chen Tianhui's voice was loud. Chase Hyla took the phone further away. Keep your voice down, I'm watching the love drama he filmed, it's quite interesting. Ah. Coach Guide, are you okay with this? Chase Hyla said loudly, what's wrong? I can't read young people's stuff. Besides, you don't want to read it? Chen Tianhui said with a smile, I really haven't watched it, and I really don't dare to watch it, but I have been paying attention to the data of major platforms. Within 3 hours of going online, the number of views exceeded 50 million. So far, the number of hot searches on Weibo. There are 4 related entries in the top 20, and the discussion about the extension of this program is currently the most popular topic on Weibo. Chase Haile glanced at the screen and was surprised, but not that surprised. Even an old man like him looked at it so enthusiastically, let alone a young man. On the barrage, many people felt that the wolf was weak. Chase Haile could see it precisely because of this. He did not think that Chen Shen, the wolf, was weak, but felt that it was real. With such a mission, it would be too fake to act recklessly from the beginning. At least Chase Haile was very patient. He wanted to see what would happen next. "Old Chen, I think you'd better not use your tricks on Chen Shen," Chase Haile reminded. The other end of the phone was silent for a while before saying, "I don't want to either, but Chen Shen's character can't be improved unless it is polished. At first, I really thought it was Black Gold Entertainment's problem, but now it seems that it is indeed a thorn in the side. Besides, Xiao Zhaodong is involved, so you have to give him some face no matter what, right?" Chase Haile frowned. "I have reservations. I will not change Chen Shen's role." Chen Tianhui laughed and scolded, "I didn't force you to shoot Jin Yi, it was requested by the board of directors. Don't blame me for the delay in your project." Chase Haile then swore, You are too shrewd. Can't we unite the front? The company is going downhill, and the evil trend is getting worse. Am I willing to toss Jin Yi? I'm so afraid of not being able to protect my future, you guys. Who are those actors who came here? They are so dizzy after trying to play Wea, but they finally get a professional one and they have to get rid of them. No one really cares about my life or death. Chen Tianhui could only smile bitterly. Chase Haile pouted, It's over, it's over. The next day, Chen Shen received a message from Chen Tianhui early in the morning. No missed call, just a quick text message. "Chen Shen, please go back to Yuzhou first." Without saying anything, Chen Shen called Zhang Ying and asked them to pack their things and prepare to return to Yuzhou. At 11 o'clock, Chen Shen landed in Yuzhou. In the business car sent by the company, Chen Shen sat behind the driver and said nothing. The air pressure in the car was a bit low, and Zhang Ying sat next to Chen Shen, also crossing her arms and pouting. Zhang Benrui sat in the passenger seat and glanced behind him through the rearview mirror from time to time. The driver must be very familiar with Zhang Benrui, and occasionally exchanged glances with Zhang Benrui. "Chen Shen, right? Your show is very popular now. When I was waiting for you at the airport, I saw a Douyin message saying that I would give you 1 million and ask you to go to the love show and cut the red line or not. The likes will be counted quickly. It's 1 million. I calculated that a video with such a high number of likes would have at least tens of millions of views." The driver may have felt that the atmosphere was not right, so he took the initiative to calm down. But no one responded. Zhang Benrui shook his head at the driver. The driver smiled awkwardly, "Yes, this time the company has indeed gone too far. If it was not as popular as Urahama before, it would be fine. Now it is obviously becoming popular and calling people back again. I really don't understand what the higher UPS are thinking. Yes, so does Urahama. He is a typical villain and even posted a special post on Moments an hour ago." This time, Zhang Ying answered, "What did he send?" Zhang Benrui glanced at the driver, "Drive well and talk a lot." The driver laughed, "I'm one of you, really, Lao Zhang, don't you know me? Ever since your boss quarreled with Wang Ziwen, I quite like your boss's character. Those old ladies are more arrogant than the other, aren't they? You're an agent, what's there to be proud of?" Zhang Ying still wanted to ask, but her phone vibrated and Zhang Benrui had already sent the screenshot. "In Urahama's circle of friends, I don't know who took the picture. He said that being polite in this circle does not necessarily mean you will be a good person, but if you are not polite, you will not be able to get along well. He also included a photo of him on the set." Zhang Ying began to grit her teeth unconsciously. Chen Shen ignored the gossip in the car. He knew about Urahama's post on Moments as soon as he got off the plane. Chase Haile called himself. Maybe he couldn't get through on the plane, so he sent several WeChat messages. The first one says that Urahama has not started construction yet, so don't misunderstand yourself. The second one said that he will not touch his own character and will film according to the structure he is in. If someone really touches Chen Shen's character in the future, the cost will increase a lot and the company will need to foot the bill. Chase Haile said this was the only thing he could do physically. It was a response to the idea that Chen Shen came up with a few days ago. Chase Haile also hopes that the Jinyi project will fail, but it can't fail, because it involves too many things. If this project fails, Huanyu's financial report will be very ugly next year. Chen Shen retracted his gaze to the window, because there was a crossroads ahead. He said lightly, "Master, let's go to Yuhan Hotel." The driver was stunned. "Ah. But Mr. Chen asked me to take you to the company." Chen Shen smiled, "It's okay, just tell him that I don't want to go to the company." The driver smiled bitterly, "Not so good." Zhang Ying was still angry, "Just go to the hotel, not back to the company. You said I don't want to go back to the company, the worst thing is I quit." After saying this, seeing Zhang Benrui in the front row looking back at her, Zhang Ying said again, "I'm serious, if I quit, I will expose this matter. Working in such a company, sooner or later I will be angry to death." Chen Shen looked at Zhang Ying, "Yes, I still appreciate this kind of sharpness, but not to the point." The driver sighed, turned on the turn signal for a left turn, and had to go to the hotel. Chen Shen was still righteous and opened a room for Zhang Benrui and Zhang Ying. As for Chen Shen himself, he didn't even check out his suite, and many of his things were still in the hotel. Chen Shen's return to Yuzhou was a big deal for Huanyu. In a small group of company members, someone directly at Wang Ziwen. At Wang Ziwen, "Sister Wen, the anger is finally out, ha ha ha." "What? There's a new situation. Don't you know yet? Chen Shen's role has been removed. I heard that a driver has been sent to the airport to pick him up, and Pu Bin's circle of friends has begun to report the good news." Sister Wen, it's awesome. Our Sister Wen is awesome." I said, "How can a newcomer be so arrogant?" "Ah. Chen Shen's role has been taken? I feel like he's going to be popular. That love show is really good, but his performance is too bad. Why give him the role of the wolf?" Yes, 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 I think so too. It is said that there is some money at home, probably bought the wolf. Ha ha ha, what's wrong with being rich? You still have to know the rules when you come to Huanyu. This circle is not something you can play with just money. How many rich second generations want to develop in the entertainment industry? How many have developed? The daughter of the chairman of Tianrui Mobile is the best example. She debuted 5 years ago and has not made any noise until now. In fact, I'm afraid that he won't be popular. Only when he becomes popular will I have concerns. I understand, Sister Wen is awesome. She took action at a critical time. Awesome. This is a private group of people who hold together. Wang Ziwen is the main member. Although she didn't show up, she has been reading group messages. Seeing these chats, she kept smiling. The face that was lost by Chen Shen was finally recovered. Wang Ziwen knew that Chen Tianhui had sent someone to pick up Chen Shen. She calculated the time and felt that it was about time, so she came to Chen Tianhui's office with a bunch of information. She really wanted to see if Chen Shen was still ignorant of the world like last week. "Mr. Chen, you have a great vision. You really signed a great potential stock." Wang Ziwen looked at Chen Tianhui and praised. Chen Tianhui glanced at Wang Ziwen, "Almost done, do you think I don't know what you are up to? It's enough to vent your anger." Wang Ziwen smiled and said, "Not really, After all, we are still people of the same company. If he gets angry, we will also benefit. I am not like him, who is a rookie who wants to show off his power as soon as he comes. I understand. Mr. Chen, I have no objection to you as a peacemaker. I will definitely cooperate. Wang Ziwen is an experienced person. She really wants to see Chen Shen's embarrassment, but it can't be just for this purpose. It will seem like kicking someone when he is down. It's better to do a favor to Chen Tianhui. After seeing the embarrassment, she followed Chen Tianhui and pretended to be generous, not caring about Chen Shen. She vented her anger and didn't offend Chen Tianhui. It was a two birds one stone move. Just then, someone knocked on the door outside. Chen Tianhui looked at the door. Come in. The one who came in was from the HR department, and he was a little cautious. Chen Tianhui frowned. What's wrong? The HR specialist whispered, Mr. Chen, we didn't pick him up. He went to the hotel and said he didn't want to come to the company. Wang Ziwen frowned at first, and then a smile appeared on her face. This is Chen Shen's own death. Chen Tianhui didn't really want to deal with Chen Shen, but Chen Shen didn't cooperate at all, and he was a little angry and wanted to go against Chen Tianhui. Chen Tianhui nodded unconsciously several times, and then said angrily, Okay, one has a worse temper than the other, let them take my seat. Wang Ziwen got up and quietly left the office. Although he didn't see Chen Shen's embarrassment, he felt comfortable. Indeed, for Chen Tianhui, there was not a single comfortable day these days. He called Chen Shen and Pu Ben, but it didn't work at all. At the meeting the day before yesterday, the director asked him why he signed a new person with such favorable conditions. Wang Ziwen was so angry that she could tell that Chen Tianhui was really angry. Chen Shen was definitely in trouble this time. The more she thought about Wang Ziwen, the more relieved she felt. In the hotel, Chen Shen ordered food to the room and was eating leisurely. In the morning, Chen Shen was really uncomfortable. No matter what Chen Tianhui wanted to do, he asked him to come back for all the happy people to see. This time, he suffered a loss. That's it, why should I give him face? The phone on the table vibrated. Chen Shen saw the caller ID and smiled. It came quickly. After the call was connected, Zhao Chunshen's cheerful voice immediately rang out, Congratulations, the momentum is good, you are going to be famous. Chen Shen laughed and said, Don't, you are praising me as much as you are praising yourself. Ha ha ha, I heard that you are filming in another place. Do you have time to come back? Your news is behind, I am back, tell me, what's the matter? Good news, Penguin Video wants to see you. Chen Shen asked, Penguin Video? Why do they want to see me? Zhao Chunsheng still said happily, what else can I do? Come to you to discuss business. So far, most of the business has been found by me. What am I in front of Penguin Video? Some big guys value the popularity of the program and want to make up for the business. This time, we will share the money among the three parties. Don't you think it's a good thing? Chen Shen had a smile on his face. He knew the composition of Zhao Chunshen's program. Although he had reported to the Penguin Project Department, they were in a free-range mode at the beginning. They were somewhat skeptical about Zhao Chunshen, the idol drama director, doing variety shows. Now that he is popular, the treatment is naturally different. Chen Shen sighed, what a pity, if you had found me earlier. Zhao Chunsheng paused, what do you mean? Brother, this is money falling from the sky. I know you are not so short of money, but it is a qualitative change for your development. It is directly connected with Penguin Video. Chen Shen sighed again, I know, I definitely want to cooperate with Penguin Video, but the company seems to want to ban me and has cancelled all my projects. Zhao Chunsheng, huh? What did you say? Did I hear it wrong? You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Se. Chapter 170. In the evening, many people were sitting in the coffee shop on the fourth floor of Yuhan Hotel. Zhang Ying and Zhang Benrui sat in a window seat, with a cup of steaming coffee in front of them. Zhang Ying had a laptop in front of her, and she was still browsing Weibo. After a day of fermentation, the popularity of Love Lesson has been increasing. The entry of trainees taking scripts to appear in love variety shows has topped the list. Sumo's discussion has also risen, and some people have used a more exaggerated title. Xiaoqing Ai's appearance in love variety shows is not exaggerated at all, because even she is here. The goddess of the financial world is on a love variety show, and the gimmick is no worse than Xiaoqing Ai. Someone sorted out Sumo's investment cases. She does not pursue large investments, but only small category industries. At the age of 27, she has invested in 2 listed companies. The second one is considered to be the upstream and downstream of the first product. Up to now, the profitability of these 2 companies has remained in the top 10 in the same industry. They are healthy and vigorous, not only adding a lot of benefits to leading capital, but also opening up many links for this industry. For ordinary audiences, numbers are often more practical and eye-catching than qualifications. The 2 companies that Sumo has invested in, one has a market value of more than 3 billion, and the other has a market value of more than 7 billion. The first company, Leading Capital, has already withdrawn, with a profit of more than 13 times, and the second company is still the third largest shareholder. In other words, the 27-year-old Sumo has created a 10-digit profit for Leading Capital. The environment in 2025 is not the same as before. When internet companies exploded in the past, this result may not be so dazzling, but in the absence of this wave, there is still such a result, which is outstanding. Zhang Ying liked a lot of hot comments about Sumo. She thinks that the more popular the people in the love variety show are, the higher the income of her boss. No matter how powerful it is, the main perspective is still on the boss. Fang Ye has also been dug up, but it is just some vague news. It is said that someone in his family is a civil servant, but he has benefited from Sumo. Some people have been talking about his so-called sincerity CP with Sumo, and many people have also paid attention to and discussed it. This couple is too strong. The whole feeling is very comfortable. Sumo should be the ceiling of the female guests in the love variety show, right? Indeed, a financial blogger I follow also talked about this matter. He said that Sumo went to Yuzhou, probably to deal with the investment of Chen Hotpot. He also said that many investors in the catering industry suffered losses. Even Sumo, who has the halo of a financial goddess, is not immune. This shows that Sister Mo is really good in the financial circle. They recognize Sister Mo's strength. So exciting, such a super boss also has to be on the love variety show. I said, Lang is too weak, and Chen Shen's experience is too ordinary. I feel that if he faces Sumo, he dare not look at her directly. Ha ha ha, Sumo and Fang Ye, how to separate them? Sister Mo doesn't need to be mentioned, and Brother Ye is said to have a red background in his family. However, the show is really bold. I actually played tricks with a big shot like Sumo. So exciting. But there are too few, not enough to watch. Actually, it's normal. Sister Mo is on this show. Now we all know that there is such a powerful female investor in China. I understand. Which 2 listed companies did Sister Mo invest in? With the characteristics of our country's stock investors, they like to speculate on this concept the most. I feel that it will rise. Smart people started to build positions in the morning. I, a stock player, actually follow the love variety show. However, This also shows that the show is really popular. This is only the first episode. I don't believe that some people don't move. Financial bloggers talk about this. Do you think it's a joke? Don't listen to the above, they are fooling us into going in and taking over for him. Zhang Ying laughed out loud. She doesn't play stocks, but she always pays attention to the discussion of the love variety show. Zhang Ying thinks that these discussions and hotspots are the capital of her boss facing the company. The financial circle did not start discussing the program until the afternoon. Several bloggers in the financial circle used Su Mo as a starting point to catch the attention of the audience. They also praised Su Mo, saying that Su Mo was one of the most powerful female investors under the age of 30 in China in recent years. Zhang Benrui also laughed out loud, then looked at Zhang Ying and immediately stopped laughing. Zhang Ying was watching Weibo, while Zhang Benrui was watching Douyin, but he was wearing headphones. Douyin was more lively than Weibo. Some bloggers were extremely exaggerated and roared at the program team of Love Lesson, saying that they would give me advance on-demand viewing, and that they would update one episode a week. Who are they looking down on? Some people said that if they were Chen Shen, not to mention Su Mo, even if the richest man came to talk about love, he would have to tear it down. 1 million yuan would never leave his palm. Of course, many people think that Chen Shen's configuration is too weak. Some people analyzed that it should be for the drama of the show. If you really find a strong one, it may not be so interesting. The most important thing is that there are heavyweight guests. If you really find a strong one to operate randomly, will they let you broadcast it? A Douyin blogger who specializes in entertainment gossip collapsed. He posted a video. He said that 3 days ago, he had written all kinds of copywriting for Xia King Ai to appear on the love variety show, such as Yuan suppressing Xia King Ai, and Xia King Ai was destined to go downhill after leaving Penguin Video. What's the result? Overnight, why don't you discuss Xia King Ai? His peers either talked about the setting of the program, or talked about Su Mo, or talked about what they would do if they were Chen Shen, which caught him off guard. He predicted the hot spots, but he didn't hit the topic. Now he went back to write the copywriting, but his peers wrote it all over, and he wanted to cry but had no tears. Zhang Benrui laughed at this video. When the two of them spoke out, they realized something was wrong. One closed Douyin and the other logged out of Weibo. They drank coffee together, and initially they wanted to discuss how to deal with the conflict between Chen Shen and the company. Uncle Zhang, you have rich experience, what should we do about this? Zhang Ying asked. Zhang Benrui smiled and said, cold salad. Uncle Zhang, Zhang Ying's voice was a little louder. Zhang Benrui said helplessly, I really can't help it. Didn't I send you a screenshot at noon? Many people in the company discussed this matter privately. Our boss is too public. It seems that Wang Ziwen is the only one who has been embarrassed. In fact, those old ladies are not happy with our boss. They dare to do this when they are still a little transparent, so they are not allowed to behave in the company with their tail between their legs. Zhang Ying sighed. This matter had something to do with her, and it was also a coincidence. If you are wronged, you have to accept it. The boss cannot be wronged, and Wang Ziwen and the others don't want to be wronged. This matter of Pu Bin is also sensitive. She happens to be Wang Ziwen's artist. It's hard to say that Wang Ziwen didn't say anything to Pu Bin, which is why it happened like this. Director Xiao Zhao was also alerted. The people on the board of directors handle this kind of matter. It must be based on the interests of the company. The bigger the fuss, the more our boss will suffer, Zhang Benrui said again. Zhang Ying curled her lips, it should be different now, our boss is already popular, and this is only the first issue. Zhang Benrui nodded, that's the truth. However, precisely because our boss is popular, it is easier to be manipulated. I heard from the personnel department that our boss signed the contract for 3 years. If it really breaks down, what should we do in the past 3 years? Zhang Ying shook her head and said, the company can't be so stupid. Normally no, our boss is very popular. Even if the contract is S-level, as long as the scale increases, it will be a lot of income. The key is that this matter depends on whether the boss will be angry. Wang Ziwen will suffer a loss and found it. The board of directors supported us and called our boss back from Hongdian. Now it's our boss who suffers. It depends on whether the company is sincere in compensating our boss. Speaking of this, Zhang Benrui suddenly remembered what happened in the morning. Chen Shen was angry and didn't go to the company, and he didn't know if there would be any complications. Zhang Ying frowned. She now hated the style of leadership carrying water. Can't you deal with whoever is at fault? Do you have to start making mistakes indiscriminately? By calling his boss back from Hongdian, wouldn't that tell the whole company that Chen Shen was wrong? So many people in the company now support Eurobin. On the one hand, they feel that the company really wants to praise Eurobin. On the other hand, they feel that the company's attitude is right. No matter what Chen Shen did or did not do, if it is wrong, it is wrong. Since it's work, why does it have to be so complicated? Zhang Ying sighed. Zhang Benrui was stunned, and then said, the world is like this. Work is not just about competency. Why does everyone want to climb up? Because after climbing up, your joys, anger, sorrows and joys will be valuable, and your emotions will also to be taken seriously, just like Wang Ziwen. Only when Wang Ziwen's qualifications are met, Chen Tianhui will pay attention to whether her face can bear it. You deny a person's value and ability just because you take care of his face. Zhang Ying looked at Zhang Benrui. Zhang Benrui smiled, that's not how it works. There is a word called class. Each class has a line. After crossing this line, people in this class will collectively maintain this line. These people tend to prefer abilities. People with poor abilities cross this line, because people with poor abilities cross the line, and that's called integration. The expression on Zhang Ying's face became quite complicated. After a long time, she sighed again and said, Uncle Zhang, I will go to work tomorrow. Zhang Benrui's smile faded, are you crazy? The boss booked a hotel for us, and he said he would work in the hotel during this period. Zhang Ying shook her head, I can't do it. The boss is obviously in conflict with the company, why should we spend his money to stay in such a good hotel and be protected by him? Zhang Benrui was stunned, and then said, maybe things are not that bad. Don't be too pessimistic. Go to work. If Chen Tianhui gets angry, he will take out his anger on you. Zhang Ying smiled, it's okay. Didn't you say that these so-called classes need to integrate? You don't know what kind of person our boss is. How is it possible to want him to bow his head? Besides, I seem to have no enthusiasm for this job. Zhang Benrui leaned on the chair behind him. He looked at Zhang Ying's immature face and sighed quietly. More than 10 years ago, or more than 20 years ago. I can't remember clearly. It was probably when I first came into society. My personality seemed to be like this, right? I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Mi Se. Chapter 171. The next day, Zhang Ying got up early, put on light makeup as usual, put on her uniform, and went out. Standing at the door, she looked at her room reluctantly. The room was very large, and the office area of a business hotel was like an independent office. Every day, someone sent free drinks and fruits. If I rely on my own efforts, I don't know if I will have the opportunity to enjoy such treatment. Zhang Ying smiled and closed the door. At the elevator entrance on the first floor, Zhang Ying came out of the elevator and was stunned when she passed the lobby. Zhang Benrui got up from the rest area next to him, then looked at the time and said, so early. Zhang Ying smiled and said, what's the matter, Uncle Zhang, Are you going to take me there? Zhang Benrui sighed, I thought I had to wait a while. Zhang Ying stared. Zhang Benrui then smiled and said, maybe my old face is still useful. Besides, you go and I live here alone? No matter how thick-skinned you are, you can't stand it? Zhang Ying was stunned for a moment, then whispered, Uncle Zhang, you think too much. I am not passionate about this job anymore. I am just going to give up. Zhang Benrui didn't answer and walked directly to the door. This matter is not complicated. It is reasonable for him and Zhang Ying not to go to the company. Chen Shen won't let them. Anyway, they are just going against the company out of spite. Chen Shen is there to support them, but is it really good to go against the company like this? Zhang Ying understands, and Zhang Benrui understands too. Since they have already gone against each other, both sides need a step. Zhang Benrui has no great ability. He has been driving all the time. He has a good salary for driving for celebrities and is content with the status quo. Although he has become an old hand, in Zhang Benrui's eyes, the company has always been more important than the artist, so he usually says whatever the company asks. Maybe because of this, the company has always arranged big artists for him. It's just that Yan Jiachao tore his face this time and replaced himself. Zhang Benrui thought the company would protect him, but he was fined several months of bonus. Chen Tianhui comforted himself, saying that Yan Jiachao was in the company, and he had to take care of Yan Jiachao's face. If he didn't like you, he would have to wrong you first. After time passed, Yan Jiachao's relationship with the company eased, and then he would increase his salary and continue to drive for big artists. The scale in Zhang Benrui's heart was a little tilted. 9 o'clock, a joyful working time, more and more people in the office area. Many people came in talking and laughing, and suddenly stared at the outermost position, and then winked at each other. Zhang Ying came to work, and Zhang Benrui was there too. What's going on? Chen Shen came to the company. Yesterday's incident was spread all over the company. Chen Tianhui personally arranged a driver to pick up Chen Shen, but he turned around and went to the hotel without saying hello. This matter was of course spread from Wang Ziwen's mouth, and many people were watching the excitement. At 9:30, perhaps because there were too many noises in the company, Chen Tianhui appeared in the office area with a gloomy face. Zhang Ying, come here. Zhang Ying said, oh, and stood up. Zhang Benrui followed Zhang Ying and wanted to go too. Chen Tianhui looked at Zhang Benrui, old Zhang, I'll talk to you later. Zhang Benrui hesitated, then sat back in his seat. Half an hour later, Zhang Ying came back. Almost everyone in the office looked at her, but Zhang Ying had no expression on her face. After returning to her workstation, Zhang Ying began to pack up. Zhang Benrui glared, slid his office chair to Zhang Ying's side, what's going on? Zhang Ying pretended to be relaxed, I said a few words to him, and he asked me to go to the HR department to handle the procedures. Uncle Zhang, our boss is pretty good, but he's a little straightforward, which is normal. He has a good family background and can act. He has the capital to be proud of himself. Zhang Benrui stood up and walked straight towards Chen Tianhui's office. Zhang Ying didn't even try to stop him. Zhang Benrui came here because he was afraid of this kind of thing happening. He thought Chen Tianhui would give him some mercy. Now it seems that he was naive. Zhang Benrui did not knock on the door, but directly pushed open the door of Chen Tianhui's office. Chen Tianhui looked up. Mr. Chen, if that's the case, please open my door too. Close the door, Chen Tianhui frowned. Zhang Benrui looked outside and turned back to close the door. Haven't you made enough of the trouble? Old Zhang, you are also a young man who has just entered the society. This matter must be put to an end. You feel aggrieved, but I don't feel aggrieved. Did he, Chen Shen, give me face? He quarreled with my capable subordinates on the first day. What do you want me to do? Before Zhang Benrui could speak, Chen Tianhui took the initiative to attack. I gave him all the projects and let him choose. Am I good to him? I also specifically asked him to be more restrained when he went to Hongdian. Did he restrain himself? The board of directors asked me, who should I ask? You, Zhang Benrui. Zhang Benrui sneered, Mr. Chen, don't play tricks on me. It's been more than 10 years. I don't know anything about the company. Do you have to fire Xiao Zhang? Don't you know whether Chen Shen is wrong in these two things? Chen Tianhui leaned back in his office chair and squinted. Firing Zhang Ying doesn't cost much. He's just a new employee. Young people always think that they can only be worthy of themselves if they do things right, haha. Maybe Zhang Ying herself knows that Chen Shen's personality is indeed too strong. Even if I want to protect him, how can I protect him? But it doesn't matter. Lao Zhang, you've changed. If I had changed, would I have been able to drive for more than a decade at Huanyu? Okay, since you're a smart person, I'll speak frankly. Turn around and leave now. I'll pretend nothing happened between you and me. You're still Chen Shen's driver. Don't rush to refute me. Am I going to fire Zhang Ying? It's Chen Shen who's ignorant. Do you understand? After saying that, Chen Tianhui picked up his phone and dialed a number. After 4 or 5 rings, the other party answered. Chen Tianhui turned on the hands-free, at Yuhan Hotel. Chen Shen's voice sounded, why, Mr. Chen is going to start asking for punishment. Chen Tianhui adjusted quickly and laughed twice, what are you asking for? What a joke, I am your agent, I know you feel wronged, I will pick you up in person this afternoon. After saying that, Chen Tianhui hung up the phone and looked at Zhang Benrui. Zhang Benrui frowned, he looked back at the direction of the office area outside. Chen Tianhui can sit firmly in the position of Huanyu executive, there is indeed something. He fired Zhang Ying, and he can push all the unpleasantness between Chen Shen and the company onto Zhang Ying. Even if it is far-fetched, but someone is taking the blame, Chen Tianhui will not lose face, because the person who made trouble has been dealt with. At this time, saying that he is Chen Shen's agent, it seems that he is standing up for Chen Shen. Indeed, this is also a good thing for Chen Shen, but Chen Shen's show has exploded. Zhang Benrui sighed. What else could he do? Zhang Ying had already solved Chen Shen's problem. If he continued to make trouble, he would only cause trouble for Chen Shen. Mr. Chen, I've learned a lot. After saying that, Zhang Benrui turned and left. In the public office area, everyone was discussing in a muffled voice. Zhang Benrui had never felt that these people's voices were so harsh. Zhang Ying had disappeared. She should have gone to the HR department. Zhang Benrui smiled self-deprecatingly. A long time ago, he might have been the same as Zhang Ying, or the same as the people in these offices. There was a difference, but it seemed that there was no difference. When I was young, I didn't climb the ladder. Now that I'm old, what can it affect? The phone vibrated. Zhang Benrui took it out and saw that it was Chen Shen's call. The call was connected. Before Zhang Benrui could speak, Chen Shen asked, "Are you in the company?" Zhang Benrui sighed, "Yes." Chen Shen, "Okay, wait for me." After Chen Shen finished speaking, there was a beep on the phone and he hung up. Zhang Benrui was stunned for a long time, and then he looked at the office he just came out of. There was a slight smile on his face, and his nose was inexplicably sour. He didn't know whether he was moved or sighed. Time is cruel, and it steals all your choices without you knowing it. But there will always be young people in this world.